Hi guys, and welcome back again to another episode. Hey, okay. So in this episode, I thought that I was going to go through a timeline of linguistic worldviews and cognitive evolution. Okay? Yes. What we are going to do now is we're going to go through the meta picture of our own development using only what we have. Okay? We are not going to invent things. We are going to take the position of not knowing anything. We don't know anything. This existence is a mystery. It is a sensory experience that we're all having, and that this intelligence is registering. Okay. But it was not always such that this intelligence could register it in this way. And it is this registering that we are following. We are following the development of registering the complexity that ensued and that developed. But in the beginning, it was not that. It was very simple. And it is because of the simplicity that we will have it solved. So let's begin with the pre-linguistic awareness. 3 million to 500,000 BCE. So language state, okay, proto-communication, gesture, rhythm, imitation. Cognitive mode, perceptual and embodied, thought and action. Worldview, the world is felt and reacted to, not described. Meaning is enacted through movement, tone, and ritual gesture. Yes. Proto-language was not about what is, about what to do. Tool use, gestures, emotions. Now, we mustn't forget that ChatGPT is not a reliable source, right? ChatGPT is not a reliable source. It is the accumulation of the knowledge that we already have, but it is the programmers that who decide how it will operate and what kind of logic it will use, because they will be determining that programming, those codes, right? So it will operate using these codes. It is not intelligence, right? Artificial intelligence is not intelligence because intelligence is alive, and artificial intelligence is not alive. So it is not intelligence, and it can never be intelligence. It really can't, ever. Not in this form, either way. It has to be infused with biology, right? Because we have to have the living aspect of it. Because it is the living aspect of life that is intelligence, not the creations. Our creations, our inventions are not intelligence. We are intelligence. Yes, just to have that out of the way. Okay. But the point here is that we have a very materialistic understanding of what has happened here. We are outward looking. We're looking out and trying to make sense of this existence that is only experienced from within. This life that you are can never be experienced outside your body. You can only ever experience it from within. Your whole life is only the registration of your sensory experience that you're having in your body now and forever. Even when you are going to die, you will only experience this body not being able to hold you anymore. Right? This is very simple. It's as simple as math. Science will, with time, reveal God to us. But because we're so slow, science will take much longer time. So that is why there are people on Earth that have realized God. They exist, right? They do exist. They're not heard. They don't get that much attention. People can't stand that knowledge because that knowledge, the truth is all encompassing. It destroys nationalities, it destroys borders, it destroys businesses, it destroys the system that we currently live in. It destroys the market economy. The truth, if we all knew it, it would destroy the market economy. Yeah, obviously, because we would realize that we are one, that we are universal, that there is only man and woman, and that we all are all there is, now and forever. Okay? Yes, yes, this will not end. Right. So this is the problem, right? Because ChatGPT doesn't really know what has happened because it is assuming it has the same framework as the people who created ChatGPT, so that it will give us their worldviews, which are just as materialistic as this type of thinking, right? Because we mustn't forget what we are. Mm, we are intelligence. We have been communicating forever, right? Even the plants communicate. Even the fungi communicate through chemicals. Yes, yes, they do. It's a very simple, primitive type of communication for us, clearly, because we can articulate something. We can right, we can do so much more than our fungi and plant brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters, you get it. They are cousins, like further back in time. They're alive as well. Right? We mustn't forget them. We mustn't forget everything. We always forget something when we try to explain everything. But we need to integrate everything because everything is included in this everything. So we can't really take anything out. So yes, plants, animals, everyone and everything is communicating. Bees, spiders, whales, from the most complex ones to the smallest ones, to the cells, right? To DNA even. They are communicating something, always giving out expressions, codes on how to operate, right? Yes, yes, that is what is happening. So we we don't know whether we were this unintelligent that we think that we were. We don't really know that. We might have been very intelligent in the beginning and then gradually become more and more intellectual and gradually becoming more and more cognitive and thinking. We're becoming more, we're developing thinking so much so that it convolutes our intelligence, our attention, our pure attention, our consciousness. We need pure attention. But unfortunately, because we now think so much and this thinking has created all this science, we have now taken it or mistaken it to be the source of intelligence. But no, thought is not the source of intelligence, but rather intelligence is the source of thought. So we can never have thought can never exceed or come before intelligence, right? Okay. So our thoughts, our ideas, any theory that you might have or will ever have or that will ever exist can never exceed the person who is having it, so, or the intelligence that is registering that theory. Right? So Einstein, Newton, me even, you listening are greater than any theory that will ever exist. Okay? Yes, you are the wonder. You are the mystery. You are the thing that we cannot name. You have no face, yet you have all faces. Right? You have no form, yet you are inside every form. And it is this intelligence that we are addressing. And this intelligence has not grown, but the form has. form together with the intellect. And that is where we see this divergence. The intellect is causing a divergence in language that is not seen everywhere. Some people remained with intelligence, whilst others went on into cognition, which is where we get the West. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, now let's go on. I'm just going to go through and explain to explain what I'm saying more and more and more so that you get it. And this will not end. Mm, I know that it might be a bit difficult to believe me or to, well, to even hear someone speak about the truth in this way. But um, you just need to listen and not listen to me, but just listen to what is being said. I am no one. I am absolutely no one. What is important here is what we are, not who, but what. What? Okay? What? All right. And what are we? We are intelligence. We have existed for a very long time, and we are just realizing it slowly because but this was not always the case. There was a time when we knew who we were. It was just a very long time ago. We knew where we came from. We knew who we were. We knew we are the universe that has come alive. That this beating heart is beating across existence. Everyone's heart at the same time. That there will never be another existence but this one. We are all there is, will ever be, can be. We will not end, even if we die, because that doesn't exist. Not really, just absence of sense. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Because sense perception is what we are experiencing right now. But there will come a time when we will not experience this sense perception. Yes, yes, because the body will die. But life will not. You will not die. Life cannot die. Life has nowhere to go. It will continue on and on and on forever. Such is the beauty of God. Okay, now let's go on and let's just let's just clean this up. Okay, let's just clean everything up because what we need is the truth here, what is happening. But we're going through it using what we know or what everybody else thinks out here has happened, and then we will test it with the truth. Okay. And then we have the proto-word era. This is now 500,000 to 200,000 BCE. This is language state, holistic vocal symbols, sound clusters with broad meaning. The cognitive mode is associative, sounds tied to events, hunt, fire, danger. Yes, yes, yes. But remember that no, this was not the case. We remembered and we realized first our own existence, and with it, we remembered everything. We knew everything, but we didn't have a conceptual understanding of it, right? We knew everything that we had experienced till now, but now every new invention would be something that we have never experienced before. So that would that would create a different type of experience for us, right? Because we never experienced these new inventions before, although we were all the life forms. I mean, despite being all the life forms, we had never come to that stage where we could now work the soil and work nature to create inventions that would change our lives. We had never seen those things before. So that those things were massive and would lay a great impression on us. And this impression would be what would later, so to say, grow or inspire in us, because one of the first things that we would know is or realize is that death, and but we knew of death, but we had never seen it in that way before. And well, um, because of the fact that there was so much time, the lagging of time, or not the lagging of time, but time accumulated. And this accumulation would would become so much. This accumulation would become so heavy. These memories would be There would be so many memories now, so many memories, and bodies, not to say the least, bodies around us. Because remember that back then we didn't really like the animals today, right? They see that, they recognize it, but then they leave it. They don't do much more about it. Sure, we have predators or scavengers who would come and eat the corpse, but the group, like the group of the elephants, would not eat their own elephant, right? They would just pay their respect or acknowledge that life has now left that form, but they wouldn't do anything else to it. They would leave it there, right? And that's the same thing that we did. We just left our dead ones pretty much near us. We didn't do much more about them because we knew death. We weren't afraid of death. We knew that as long as we made love, we would last forever, right? Right? So that it was that moment when we woke up and realized, oh my God, there are so many dead bodies here now, that this was very scary for us when we had the first conceptual understanding of death. But that took a long time to grow. It had to grow. And it grew in small stages and by us experiences, small experiences here and there, that would accumulate with time and become so many that it would mm, create a disconnect to death, because things would start creeping into our psyche, fears at night, and animals that were unknown to us. Everything that was scary would mm, lay on top, so to say, of every negative experience that we had, causing this disconnect to life. But this fear will also be what, um, yes, what will this fear be? I think I will stop here now. Yes, I will stop here now. Because yeah, I need to explain this a bit more clearly. Um, but but um, but yes, we realized that it was right. But before we realized that, we realized the stars and eternity and everything that we are and love. And we knew death then as well, but we had never seen. mm, we had never been afraid of death before. There we go. That's it. We had never been afraid of death before. And because of the accumulation of all the bad experience that we had before, they suddenly started creeping in. We will now start thinking more. This is where this thinking mind begins developing. And this thinking mind will ask so much about death, or try to understand it, try to discern that, so much so that it begins to fear it. It doesn't longer know what this death is. Yes, yes. But this is myth now, right? Everything that I'm saying is myth because we don't know. We don't know whether this is the truth or not. But if we just take the animals, just take a group of animals as an example, okay? Let's not make this a hairy fairy thing. Well, let's just take a group of monkeys, okay? And then they realize their existence. And they're not monkeys. Remember, they're not monkeys, they're intelligence. They're a simpler form. Their bodies can only express this intelligence, okay? But our bodies can express more, but of the same intelligence. It is the same intelligence, but because of the body shapes the expression of that intelligence, right? And that is what has happened. But if the animals were to undergo the same experience, then clearly they would realize, oh shit, we're like they would realize their own animalistic nature and despise it a little bit, right? Because they would suddenly become self-aware, and this self-awareness would create a distance from whatever they have been instinctively doing. Let's say they've been eating pieces, right? Or you know how animals are, that they have no boundaries, like they licking each other, like they having sex with many all the other groups, all the other females, right? Every life form has their own ways, obviously, right? But the point is that they suddenly grew self-awareness, and that this self-awareness would cause like, oh shit, what are we doing? It will alienate itself to it. It will be alienated by itself. And this alienation would be the spawn, the emergence of cognition. Because now you don't recognize this, whatever existence is. So now you must learn it. You don't know what this existence is. Compared to your past, where you knew what it was and you were living it instinctually. You were eating and pooping and farting and having lots of sex, and you were crazy and wild, and things were just naturally unfolding because you were nature. There was no right or wrong. It was naturally leading to a greater complexity, but also greater integrity, because their existence has an integrity that we do not know. It is divine. It is divine and it is intelligent. Okay. So the animals and everything that they're doing, there is intelligence behind it. There is a reason for it. We don't know why. All the things, we don't fully know everything yet, but we are slowly discovering. Those animals that peed on the monkeys that peed on their hands and feet when they climbed up the trees, there was a reason for it, because, well, some of them didn't see good at night, so they could only smell their way back home. And right, we don't understand this intelligence clearly. That is the problem. And because of this misunderstanding, we have created very many theories about who we are. Or we don't know who we are because we're not honest. We're not honest. We can't see clear because we don't know. We haven't asked the right questions, and we haven't stayed in stillness to let it reveal itself to us. Because stillness is existence itself. It's the first thing. First thing. Stillness. It had to come first. Yes, yes. Okay. So now we got that out. Now we got that out. So we were intelligent first, and then we grew an intellect due to fear or due to disconnect or something. We popped up. Our This new self-awareness popped up, and it was a shock. It was a massive shock. Yes. And this shock would be what will now lead to our development. divergence. We will now diverge from nature. Yes. And this is and what is the divergence? It is the divergence from stillness, because stillness is intelligence, or the medium to intelligence, or in fact, it is intelligence itself. All animals are also still. Their intelligence is stillness. They're just looking, observing, seeing, and responding or reacting, right? But wait, they don't react. We humans react. We've been taught to react to things. Animals just respond. Sure, they can react as well. They can be like, they can be afraid, like cats and stuff. Like, they can be afraid. They can have a reaction as well. But most of them will have a response, because animals are instinctually intelligent. Right? A cow does not go and touch the electric fence twice, but man and woman does. We do. We make the same mistakes over and over, but the animals don't. Yes, yes. See, that is the difference, right? We diverged, and then we call them stupid and unintelligent, whilst we in fact are what have diverged so much so that we think we are more intelligent than them, but we are not. We're the same. We can express more. That's all. That's all. We can express more, and we control this physical world more. That is in our ability, because we are the latest form, right? We're also them, but it took all of them to create this one. Yeah. Okay. And then, so the mind begins to externalize experience through sound. This is now where we get that. This is now where we get that. Yes, but not time. Time came much, much later, right? Communication equals time, sequence, purpose. No, like, no, 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 no. Now here we're just talking sounds, pure sounds. Sounds. Yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much it, just pure sounds. And this was probably not pure sounds. This was just, well, it was probably between there, right? Between there, here and there, from nature to the modern man, where we went from stillness, instinct, and intelligence, till to we're still that, obviously, beneath, but then we developed the latest form of our brain. Yeah, that's where we get cognition and stuff. Mm. Yes. Okay, let's go on. Oh, I see that it's almost 30 minutes. Goodness me, I've talked a lot. Okay, so the mythic polycentric mind, sure, we have that. What else? The agrarian nominal shift, sure. The grammatical revolution. Yes. See, now we go coming here now. This is where we diverge. This is where we diverge. Sure, you can say that we diverged over here as well, and we did. We diverged in stages and in various group sizes, because we did not all go at the same time. Sometimes there was just a few families that went somewhere. Sometimes there was a whole group. Sometimes there was literally everyone, right? So times created very many circumstances. And then we go on the philosophical linguistic age, sure, but I want to go on to the next one, because we get where this is going, the analytic scientific turn. This is now where we are. I mean, this is where we are, right? The reflexive digital age. But mainstream, we're still kind of here, right? We're in both worlds, pretty much. And we have all the other ones as well in other places around the Earth, right? That did not develop to become these, but now with the computer, with iPhones, with all this technology, we're all getting there. Okay, so this is the future now. This is giving us the future: hybrid, natural, artificial, symbolic. Like, right? This is what the inventors of ChatGPT want, right? They hate nature. Like, clearly they don't like nature. They don't like nature. So they've been trying to escape nature by trying to, well, it's a power play. It's a power play. Okay, so here we have a condensed table of linguistic cognitive evolution. Okay, we have pre-linguistic, gesture, rhythm. We have proto-word, sound event, mythic, polysynthetic, agrarian, nominal, grammatical, fusional, agglutinative, and so on and so forth. Okay, okay, sure. This is okay. Well, we can accept this, right? But there is much more, okay, because it doesn't know everything. Now we're going to look at it from the big picture. We're going to look at it from the truth. This is from the material world and mainstream knowledge, the mainstream science that we know today. This is it. Except the last one, right? This hybrid code one. Like this is Sam Altman's. I mean, the guy who made this, who made ChatGPT's wish, I guess, right? He would try to infuse some machinery into the body, right, to control it, not to enhance it. Okay. Now let's go on, um, because we can. Unfortunately, our inventions will be able to create these things in the end. Yes, yes, yes. We don't know that yet, but we are really amazing. We can create very many things. We don't realize that yet. But let's go to the truth. Okay. Yes. So let's go. Okay, now he is actually testing. He is, or he, I mean, ChatGPT is testing my theory. But ChatGPT does not understand my theory because ChatGPT is not alive. Only you are. You are alive. I am alive. So we will get it. Okay. So I've asked it for the ontological view. Okay. For you guys who don't know what ontology means, ontology means the essence. The essence of something. Yes. We want the macro picture and the micro picture combined. We want them both. Why? Well, because we want the truth. We don't want something relative. We don't want something that is not absolute. We don't want something that cannot explain everything. We want everything explained. Yes, and we will get it with time. Okay, so here we go. The infinite star hypothesis, ontological timeline of creation, a metaphysical evolution of eternal love between light and void. Yes, this is existence. Existence is eternal love between light and void. Okay? Between man and woman. Man and woman. We are making love. This is intelligence. This is the intelligence of existence, of God, of life. We are making love. Love, love, love. We're making love so much so that we have created all existence. Since we were a star and a black hole, we created everything. You and me. Yes, you and me. So, zero, before time, the eternal dyad. I don't know, dyad, the eternal two, or duat. We know what duat means. Duad, the eternal two. And sure, they are the eternal two, the star and the black hole. But together they are one. Remember? The perfect circle. They are one. They are not separate. But here we are. Here we are separate. So we will always try to find each other, right? That is the mystery. That is the beautiful mystery. That is the love story that science has lost. Science has lost truth, or not lost it. It never found it, unfortunately. But neither did religion. Neither did religion. Nobody found truth. No one was able to find truth, unfortunately. Until now. Until now. Now we have found it. Okay. Yes, so before time, they exist as one unbroken unity, potentiality without division. Then, through self-awareness, they fall in love with their own reflection. Wow, okay, now it really jumped. Sorry, this was okay. Because we can't go there yet. No, self-awareness. No, no, no. This is way too late. I'm sorry, I did go through this. I skimmed through it, but it doesn't matter because I'm here. I can explain it, okay? Like this is just program. ChatGPT is just a program. Let's not be fooled by these programs. Right. Okay. So these two things, star is shooting out and creating this massive black hole around it. And they're pretty much dancing. Okay, they're spinning. They're spinning, yeah. And this spin is causing the pulse. This spin is the pulse. It is them two hitting each other forever. It will never stop. So these two things in their union created everything. So we have the first pulse, meets voids. Here we have the heartbeat. This is the heartbeat coming into existence. Okay? So this is the first time that light has hit matter or mother, right? So that it hit that wall, and that wall created a hole, and that hole created the world or all. That hole created all. See, our words are telling the way, and the truth, because our words are that. Our words will tell us the truth. You see. Okay. So time is love measured in light. Space is love stretched in form. Yes, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah. The cosmic body, galaxies as embodied rhythm. Now we have the forming. Now we have the rhythm coming in. Okay, the spiral galaxy. Oh God, it's not the galaxies first. Obviously, it's not the galaxies first. It's the first stars. First, it is, well, I mean, first what was the pulse, and that pulse uh, created all the stars inside that hole, and then those stars would die, and those stars would become, some of them would become new stars, but some of them would not. Some of them would become planets. Planets, yes, planets. And that is how this goes. And the planetary womb, now this is where this planet, this light that first created this hole that is falling in, um, has now risen into this form speaking. Okay, this is where light becomes life, where love becomes organism. Every seed is the memory of the star entering the earth. Every cell is a black hole dreaming of light. I mean, oh, I can't laugh anymore. I don't know. I just can't cry either, because this is sacred. This is sacred. The great synthesis, the living form. Now we have these principles, the DNA. The DNA also a spiral. Remember, spiral. Heart, spiral. If we unfold the heart, it will come all out. And if you fold it, it will fold into a spiral. Okay. To evolve is to learn how to love more consciously. To evolve is to learn that you are loved, that you were made for love, that you come from love, that you are destined for love. Okay. The emergence of consciousness. Light awakens within darkness. The I. Now we got the I. Well, I is mother, right? I mean, she's the darkness. And he is the father. Father is the light. Each act of seeing reenacts the first moment of creation. The I is the infinite star looking into its own abyss and finding itself as I. Okay, the human heartbeat, the pulse of eternal love. Each beat is their eternal union made audible. Each breath repeats their dance. Inhalation, void receives. Exhalation, light gives. Man and woman in their union are the latest embodiment of that cosmic polarity. Their love physically recreates the first act, energy entering matter, and matter awakening as life. The human heart is the drum of the cosmos, keeping time with eternity, or beating in eternity itself, because eternity does not beat, only life does, and life is here in this form now. Yes, and it will also be here when the form is not here, um, but here it is in time. Okay. And then we have the realization. This is now where we begin this journey into the mirror and into self-awareness. So self-awareness is now coming in into intelligence itself, into our union. I as man, and you woman, or right, or well, if you are man, then two women. This is now where forget we forget to love one another. We forget love, and we begin to become afraid of existence, of our own existence. We become afraid of it. We're afraid of death, of illness, of injuries. But prior to that, we weren't afraid of those things. We just accepted them. We just instinctually or intelligently accepted because they were part of us. We saw them all the time. And Harry says love was the engine, consciousness the result. No, consciousness. Oh, consciousness is in fact love. Consciousness is love, or consciousness is one aspect of love because we need both of them. We need him and her, right? Because I can't make love to myself, right? Okay, I mean I can, but that will be something else. Okay. Now we have the condensed ontological summary. Yes. So here we go. Um, the pre-being, time, space, galaxies, Earth, biology, awareness, embodiment, self-reflection, consciousness, and recreation. Yes, it has it almost right. I mean, it doesn't really, right? Because consciousness comes first, and consciousness is intelligence, and must be there up here, and then comes the pulse, and then comes the cosmic body, the planetary womb, the living form, and there we have to skip human heartbeat because the heartbeat is the beginning. And then we come to humanity, which is the word we created for ourselves. What we are really just life. We are all of the forms, not humanity. We don't know what humanity is. It's just a concept that we made. We know what mankind is, but humanity is just a concept. It's just a construct. We have created many constructs because we don't know who we are. Okay. I think I will end this here now. I will end this here because, well, we have spoken a lot. Now this video has become very, very long. But existence is not a machine. It is a romance of self-realization. Yes, it is. God is realizing God's own existence here. Yes, yes, through us. Through us. And who is God or what is God? God is a star and a black hole. Both of them. Love. Love, love, love. Yeah. And love is what? Also, it's intelligence. It's pure intelligence. It's you're surrendering to what is. And the intelligence is existing. It is intelligence that is speaking and listening. So that here we are. Here we are. Yes, 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 yes. So thank you for listening. Truly. Have a good day or evening wherever you are. And see you next time. Cheers. Bye.